Tears of the Kingdom begins with Zelda taking Link into a spooky cave.
This strange gloom keeps getting thicker.
Okay, if that's what you think about gloom, but keep it to yourself. At this point, I was eating mac and cheese, and, well, that's all I wanted to do, not listen to Zelda's deviant opinions on gloom. Zelda, please let me go! I was beginning to get restless. When they finally did get down there, though, this happened. Yeah, well that was pretty much it. It was a weird game, but a pleasant one. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Just kidding, Zelda died. And it was pretty funny.
Link, finally awake.
Link then finds the Master Sword, but it's all poopy. Link then exited the building and decided to do the Kratos fall meme, but it didn't hit as hard.
I don't understand.
Once I did get down there though, this cute man with a stick tried to beat me to death.
Sudden death, go!
There was one little man though, that was nice enough to dispense a Nintendo Switch for me. These guys are freaking adorable though, because I must protect myself. But now, it was time to explore. A little later, I found a door.
That door will open only to those with sufficient power. I'm sorry. I did not intend to startle you. It was I that spoke to you earlier. That arm originally belonged to me.
Sweet holy vitamins, he is so ugly! Bro, why did I word it like that in the actual thing?
That arm should allow you to open this door. It seems to have lost the power to do so. You might be able to restore it, but you would need to enter a place filled with sacred light. Ah, of course. Why not visit the shrines on this island?
Bro, that is an egg. Bro, it looks so funny when he fades away. I then went to check it out. Bro, that's so weird. There's a place inside of the egg, like, what is this? Then weird goat man talked to me in the shrine and gave me the power of hand inside of my hand. It was called the Ultra Hand. Why is this so funny every time? It did take me a little bit to get used to the ability though. I didn't quite understand. However, a small bit later, I completed my first shrine, and it was time to leave.
Hi, I'm Saul Goodman.
Of course though, this game is not just about shrines, it's also about free roam, of which I would need some time to adjust to. later, however, I found myself acquiring the fuse ability, so as any brave soul would, I put down my tree branches, used my first weapon, and didn't understand how the game worked at all, in more ways than one. I also rediscovered Kuroks.
What's he up to, man? What's he doing?
And I also rediscovered the adorable Kuroks that are stuck on her back. They're so cute. Which was a mistake. But with that taken into account, Nintendo thought it was a good idea to give me the ability to ascend. Basically making me a god. I also caught a Matrix moment on camera. Get ready though, because this is going to blow your mind. Soon enough though, I opened up a big door and saw a tear, and that was weird. Poked it, and Zelda came out of it and gave me arm power. And Link looked disgustingly scared because he could not stop sweating. I then opened up the final door, but before I could be free, Weird Goat Man felt the need to speak to me. I don't really like him, I don't. And then this happened with the Master Sword. You know, having beat the game and writing the script, I'm still not sure what that was. But that aside, I then met the lady from the previous Zelda game.
Okay, now where have you been? Linky, you're not a ghost, are you? Hey. That looks interesting. Phew. One step at a time. What exactly happened?
And it was clear that my next goal was to find Zelda, and the first step was to talk to a man leading the search party for her. And on my way to find him, I don't know how to explain this next part, actually. You're just gonna have to watch it. Soon after, I found the man I was looking for.
Oh? Hmm? Huh?
Okay, I think I need to see a psychiatrist. Going back to the nice lady, she told me that there have been more sightings of Zelda elsewhere, such as Rito Village, and such was my next destination. Once I arrived, it seemed that Zelda had given all of the residents drugs and made Yunobo look like a WWE wrestler, and he was harassing children.
Now stop flapping your rock chompers and get over here, Goro!
Okay, dude.
What could you want?
and everyone here seemed to have an extreme case of the munchies. I then talked to this guy named Volcon, which looked like he was trying to eat me. Committed elder abuse. And then helped the drug problem by taking off Yunobo's WWE mask so he can stop acting like he's Heisenberg. And in doing so, I got Yunobo's power of fire. And he also asked me to come to Death Mountain with him because he was sure that Zelda was up there, but he completely lacked motivation to go up there.
What's he up to, man? What's he doing?
However, when we did make it up there, Yunobo told me he thinks Zelda fell down this hole, which would have been next level clumsy, but I don't know. So I went down there with him, but only when I was down there in a pit with him did he find it necessary to tell me that he has been hearing voices. We also ran into Zelda again, but she, I'm not sure. I don't know. And that's when the voices came back.
The gate you must pass through is firmly locked with 5 padlocks. You have the power to unlock them all. Do so, then the gate should open.
So that's what we did. Eventually, we managed to open up the door.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm sure that won't have any bad consequences.
That's really, really big! Oh no! Is Zelda inside the monster? Save her, Goro!
Now maybe, hear me out, she's the monster, because I'm pretty sure she wouldn't have just stood there and raised up into the ceiling and acted like she was making a sandwich at the same time with how relaxed she was. But that's just a theory. A game theory.
Those legs will hurt if they hit you! Here I go!
Honestly, out of the two of us, I feel more empathy for him. Anyways, after fighting the monster for a bit, a tear spawned out of literally nowhere. And, well, we were just both as confused as any unintelligent, brainless, dense dim-dum would. He touched the tear.
Yunobo, Little Rock.
I've heard that voice. Are you the one who's been talking to us this whole time, Goro?
Yes, I am your ancestor from a time long past. I served the first king of Hyrule as a mighty warrior, and as a sage who, like you, could command fire. You fought using your body as a weapon. Impressive. You are my descendant, the pride of the Gorons. You defeated that monster, the source of those foul rocks, but it was the Demon King who summoned it. He sent that monster to keep you from obtaining the stone you just found. My secret stone. Let me tell you about the imprisoning war and the duty of our people. Many years ago, in the kingdom of Hyrule's earliest days, a great evil, the Demon King, sought to conquer the kingdom and kill everyone who resisted his rule. Rauru, the first king of Hyrule, rose up to oppose him, along with me and 5 other warriors. However, we were no match for the Demon King. Even my strongest blows weren't enough to break him. Rauru understood that we couldn't overcome the Demon King. In one last brave act, our leader sacrificed himself to imprison that monster. The rest of us survived, and it wasn't long after that climactic battle that someone came to see me. Her visit would set the Goron's duty in stone. The Sage of Time, one of the 6 sages.
The magic restraining the Demon King will be undone. He will return. When that time comes, a noble swordsman named Link will oppose him. But Link will need help. Lend him your power. Your fire. The Goron's mastery of fire.
I swear that when the Demon King returns, the Sage of Fire will awaken again. The Goron Sage and the Goron people will fight alongside your swordsmen. You saved Goron City, but the Demon King is still out there. Yunobo, Little Rock, take up my secret stone and honor the pledge I made to the Sage of Time long ago. Fight alongside the swordsman, Link.
I can do this! You can count on the Sage of Fire! I'll fight by your side till the very end! And take this! It's proof I stand with you!
The Infinity Gauntlet grows, and with that, I got rid of all of the drugs in Gerudo Town, and all their food, but before leaving, I had just one last crime to commit. Zara's Domain was another location Zelda had been spotted at, and when I arrived there, it turned out Zelda had been defecating all over the place. Sidon was protecting the place from the poopy as much as he could by T-posing on it. He was trying, but, you know, it was trying is the key word here. Which somehow turned into me having to search a diarrhea for a piece of stone with some inscription on it. But it turned out that it was just over there. And that helped me figure out how to stop this. And with that, I committed some more elder abuse. And I was on my way so me and the giant fishman could stop the poopy problem.
Yes!
So I went up to this guy and found out that the source of the problem was this little guy. Which honestly just made me feel sick that I was shooting him down and beating him up with all my friends. But that didn't last for long. And then And Sidon went through the exact same thing that Yonobu went through, so I won't put you through the pain of seeing the exact same thing again. But Sidon gave me his power, and I genuinely felt like he was going to crush my hands the whole entire time. I then made my way into the third area, which was this area with little birdies and some wind. Yep, it's that area. The land of the sky.
Huh? Is that you? It is you! Link!
I don't remember. No, that's a boy? And who is this flamingo? These little chickens seem to be suffering from a storm, of which they needed more food and spicy peppers. And of course, I starved them out. A storm is pretty boring though, so I just filmed this little burb man. I mean, look at him, he's so cute! And look at him, he's just the best.
Sapo!
I don't understand.
However, I did spend way too much time on the boss here, so here's some footage of that.
That's what the kids call epic fail.
You have to stay clear of those tornadoes! Be careful!
You're making me mad!
Don't get too close to the tornado!
Hey look, it's the one tear I cried while fighting that boss. Also, the ability I got from this place was Wind Gust. Before I headed to my next destination, I completed my horse collection with one last horse. The government! However, soon after, I arrived at my final destination, Gerudo Town, and as any smart, brilliant, knowledgeable knower does, I trespassed and immediately read the diary. After I was done with that, I talked to a woman that made it clear men weren't allowed here. I disagreed with her views. She also mentioned to the people inside that I was too short and could not reach the peoples. Soon after, I found my way inside, and this lady started talking to me about the world ending or something, being in danger. I don't know, I couldn't pay attention because I was too busy looking at the gummy bears in the background. The only thing that I learned was that the objective had changed, and that anybody 10 feet away from this place loses Wi-Fi. Although, once I did arrive at my destination, I met an old friend. I'm not sure why Link was sweating like he just came out of the shower while talking to her. I then helped her with some target practice, because there are some wacky maniacs around these parts. And conveniently, after finishing target practice, someone came over to tell us that the village was under attack by those very same wacky maniacs. Link seemed to be nervous about this, so of course I had to help. However, once I got there, it turned out that these pieces of Tryptophobia broccoli were increasing the maniacs. However, it wasn't too long after that all of the broccoli was gone, thanks to yours truly. Only me. Nobody else helped.
Bulyara, well done holding the line until we were able to get here. Now that we know the Gibdos are susceptible to lightning, this gives us a major advantage.
Huh.
Is that Zelda?
Gotcha!
And of course, now we needed to go after Zelda. But we needed to talk about it first and meet back at the town. And that's when I got put in jail for public indecency. I'm not kidding. Which was completely unreasonable, by the way, because I had clothes on. Like, well, now, anyway. But that's besides the point. Look at how nervous Link is. So I called my lawyer, and he told me.
It's all good, man.
And just like that, I was free. But the residents acted kinda wacky. Why? Because they'll turn you into stone? Oh my god! I wish I freaking knew that before I looked into Saul Goodman's eyes. If you're watching this video, I'm sorry I exposed you to my eyes. Anyways, once I finally arrived at the meeting spot I was previously supposed to go, I just felt like that meme of, they don't know that, but instead it was about going to jail over public indecency. But that was besides the point. The point was that the Gibdos were about to attack the town. But it was fun because I got to do a cute little design your own war section. It's just like Imagine Fashion, but if it was Imagine War. But for the purpose of the video being a reasonable length, I'll just say we ran into a picture on the wall and assumed it had to do with Zelda, as all murals do nowadays, and that led us to a magical Dorito, which apparently did lead us to Zelda. We summoned a pyramid, the nice lady gave me the power to hurt people, and I got to fight the actual real moth in 4K from the lamp meme with ultra high definition. And in killing the moth, it restored the town to a slightly less dusty and more vacuum state. After all that, I headed back to the main town, and I have a habit of shaking my legs, so you'll have to forgive me. But this child just looked absolutely horrified at the castle. And this also happened.
Isn't that... Link, look at this! Quickly!
And of course, this meant I had to go up there. And once I did get up there, I realized she never needed any help from me. She was just zoning out, like, in a corner. And when I did get to her, she just kind of got bored and faded away, and then I had to fight these goblins. This proved itself to be a recurring problem. But that was fine because books gave me the power of knowledge, and that's how I beat all of the goblins. Also, all this red stuff is apparently anger, which makes sense because Link looks like the neighbor's kid and has killed him like 8 times now, and I mean, like, I would be angry at that too. Like, anyways, after I finished fighting all Ganon's goblins, this happened.
At last. I have been waiting for you to arrive. Now, Link, there is something here I want to show you. What do you think? Hyrule Castle, perfect and glorious. Does it awaken memories? Memories of our time here? Well, really take in every detail. After all, this place will be the last thing you ever see.
Wow, who could have seen that coming? Anyways, after finding out that Zelda was just to lure me into a death trap and I had to fight 5 Phantom Ganons,
I remembered I baked some cookies and they're going stale.
I decided to leave to get more health by doing more shrines. I also had some pretty bad luck on the way. And speaking of, I also ran into this little Korok. Instead of me building him a normal bridge, I spent like 2 hours trying to make do with what I made and I had, and just be simple and just make things simple. And then you can just do the things. You don't have to spend 2 hours doing them. But I did it. I did it because I am determined and I am the best, and that's the only way you get through life. So, here we are. I got him his little friend back. And the happily ever after happened. Yeah. But just as I thought I had all the things I needed to fight Ganon, I was proved wrong. I fused my wooden mop with a spiky turny thing, and it transformed into the Flux Core 2 Pulverizer. And now I was ready to fight Ganon.
It seems there is more to you than the power Rauru has gifted. But not much
Link, we are here.
Those who carry the secret stones.
Just what is this thing?
You do not recognize me. Perhaps there are limits to the knowledge the secret stones impart. You stand before Ganondorf. The foolish actions of your ancestors served only to delay my ascension. Allow me to show you. You cannot hope to escape your fate. My power will sweep across this land. You need but await the inevitable end.
This is Dire, the Demon King, the man who nearly destroyed the world. Ganondorf. With his return, everyone's in danger.
Oh, this isn't good! If that really was him, oh, we're in real trouble!
Hold on. He must not be at his full strength. Otherwise, why flee instead of finishing us off? We should return to Lookout Landing and decide what to do next.
And apparently now and only now did they decide to tell me that there was a sixth sage I was missing. So I tracked down the sixth sage, found the important door, and inside was an important head.
Take this. Follow the light.
Yep.
Turned out that the head was a crucial point to building the sage. Yes, you heard me right. She is a robot. And yes, it is like Titanfall. And also the boss for this area was a slightly underwhelming robot fight. And in return for fighting the boss, I met the sage in her physical form. And it was repulsive. I don't freaking, what is that? What the hell is that? And I got the power of her following me, apparently. Yeah, no, that's actually what just happens from now on. I'm not even kidding. And also, this cutscene.
Long ago, my people, known as the Zonai, came down from the heavens to the surface of the world. It was said they were descendants of gods. They bore treasures from these same gods, secret stones capable of amplifying the abilities of those who possessed them. Using the knowledge of the Zonai, my younger brother Rauru became a great leader. He met a young woman named Sonia, and they would wed. Rauru gifted Sonia one of the secret stones. Together, they sought to establish their kingdom. This is how the Kingdom of Hyrule, with Rauru and Sonia as its first king and queen, came to be. The future looked bright. However, tragedy suddenly struck. A man of great evil emerged from the desert. The leader of the Gerudo, Ganondorf, killed Queen Sonia and stole her secret stone. Using the secret stone, Ganondorf transformed into the Demon King. He then created swarms of monsters and attacked. Hyrule rose up to face these threats, but the evil power driving the monsters forward was staggering. The defenders were on the brink of defeat. Rauru then came up with a plan to turn the tide of the war. He entrusted secret stones to warriors with exceptional abilities. They became sages and united in an effort to finally defeat the Demon King. Rauru and the sages outnumbered the Demon King and should have been able to stop him. However, the Demon King's power had grown far beyond anything we could have imagined. I was unable to withstand his strength. Our fight appeared all but lost. And then, Rauru. He committed himself to one final act.
That pride will be your downfall, Ganondorf! Don't be so smug. I know exactly what it will cost me.
The inevitable.
You're wrong. Years from now, someone will appear with the sword that seals the darkness. A swordsman with the power to defeat you, Link. Remember this name.
Link. Interesting. I look forward to meeting you.
It was at this moment that I realized Ganon's beard is also his eyebrows. But that still didn't explain what happened at the beginning of the game with the Master Sword. So here's another cutscene.
You're saying that sword traveled through time the same way you did?
Yes, but more importantly, in my original time, the Demon King was vulnerable to even the smallest piece of this sword.
Even someone like him has vulnerabilities. Then, what exactly are you suggesting we do with the sword?
Over time, the Master Sword is able to absorb sacred power. It can heal itself, and even grow stronger.
Curious. If we were able to empower it in that way, it could be the key to defeating the Demon King. But it could take centuries for that sword to grow strong enough. The power the Demon King wields. I do not see how this can be done. It would be impossible for you to provide it with sacred power for so long.
I can think of one way.
You mean?
Yes, I can do it. I have to.
I've told you. That act is forbidden, for a very good reason. It would mean throwing yourself away.
Oh, Minoru!
You won't be able to change back.
The moment I had the sword, I knew what to do. I knew this was why I came to this era. I want to restore the Master Sword and deliver it to Link.
I understand. You really have made up your mind? Very well then. As a Zonai, I bear my share of blame for these events. So I too will devote myself to this goal, and to this hero of yours. For the swordsman Link, I will do everything I can. Even if my body should perish, I will still be with you in spirit.
So because Zelda sacrificed herself to give me that sword, Robot Lady told me if I don't use it to fight Ganon, she would break my chin. It's kind of disappointing because I wanted to kill Ganon with my bouncy stick and it's kind of a big plan of mine. I'm not actually kidding. But in order to get the Master Sword, I would need more stamina, so I had to do more shrines. But once I had the stamina, I was ready to go. And that little thing is where I'm gonna get the Master Sword. And honestly, this was one of the coolest ways Nintendo could have possibly let me get the Master Sword. That was until it floated into the air and a nuke was dropped on me. Just kidding, I went to heaven. Never mind, Zelda's here, it's not heaven. But I have the Master Sword now, and that's all that matters. And now, all that was left was to murder the Eyebrow Beard Man. But first, I needed to figure out where he was. So I was told to go into the depths and look for him there. And I found the last ability, which was to auto-build. And I met back up with one of the most pleasant characters in this game, Master Koga. I threw him in a hole in the previous game. It was one of the most boring boss fights ever, and his laugh sounded like Scooby-Doo. However, once I was done fighting him, he told me he was gonna do evil stuff and told me not to follow him. So I went after Ganon. That's not true, they got split up from me. So I went to go fight Ganon by myself.
How disappointing.
I agree, Ganon.
It would have been more satisfying to overcome a worthy foe.
Regardless, I will reshape this world as it was meant to be. I will crush any opposition. I will rule. That is what a king must do. Do not look away. You witness a king's revival. And the birth of his new world.
He still looks like the neighborhood kid. I can't take him seriously like that. So I got the Phantom Armor. Yeah, okay, that's minorly better. And by the way, the Phantom Armor will help you massively in this fight. Instead of him just taking down like 5 hearts, when he hits you, he will take down like 1. Which also made me reach phase 2 pretty fast.
What a feeling. Stop! I'd almost forgotten the thrill of battle. That feeling as blood surges in my veins. And I am not even near the limits of my power.
Yeah, not a whole lot changed. I was still able to get past it in the first try with this armor. However, the third phase was like fighting the Demon King with a PNG of a guitar. He literally got rid of all of my hearts. I had nothing I could do to fight him with but arrows. And mind you, I was on short supply of my arrows. Things to shoot him with that would actually do damage, and bows. However, I did forget I had fairies. And so did he.
Stand in my way!
This is the coolest thing since paper clips. In all seriousness though, this was actually freaking amazing. I felt like I was playing God of War and not deprived in the slightest of the coolest ending I could have asked for after playing this game for over 70 hours. It was honestly tear-jerking. I'm not even kidding. Like, what the hell? and for one last time, they faded away. And now Zelda was falling to her demise, and it was up to me to save her. Oops, never mind that. You know, I'm not sure what the plan was here. Now they're just both going to die, like... Ugh, yikes. And it was the head first, too. Oh, are they still alive? Well, color me impressed.
Link, how are you? We reached you, after all. He's gone. The Demon King. I'm not in a dream, right? You did it! Oh, Link, you really did it! But how am I... No, I understand. I had been sleeping all this time. Felt something, like a warm, loving embrace. I woke up. Thank you. Link, I met such wonderful people. I saw Hyrule as it was. I have so much to tell you. So much happened. Oh, Link, I'm home.
And just like that, it was complete. You know, I could have added a bunch of memes to the ending cutscenes, but they were cool enough. I thought that you guys should just get to see them uncut. Also, the important thing I learned when recording the footage for this game and working on the script and just the project in general is that it took me over 70 hours to complete this for a video, and it got frustrating along the way for sure, but that frustration made the finish line so much more sweeter. And the journey is a huge part of doing anything. And in fact, if I got to finish the game once I started it, that would have meant nothing to me. It would have been nearly pointless. That, and every time I got frustrated at this game, I couldn't help but find myself coming back to it anyways. And it was perfect when I finished it. So to you who's listening to this right now, if you have a goal or anything you're doing for that matter, it's gonna get difficult, but keep coming back to it with determination. I know you can do it, and when you do, it's gonna feel so great, you might even look back on those difficulties with fondness.